Here are the pieces for the upper bodice. This is the back piece and the front piece. We start off by sewing the dart of the back. That's a notched point to indicate my dart area. I'll fold it in two and sew by 1/2 inch. The dart length is 6.5 inches. After sewing the dart leg of the fabric piece, I'll do the same thing for the lining piece. Draw my dart line, and with the help of the notch again, fold in two, sew by 1/2 inch, and the length of my dart is 6.5 inches. I repeat the same process on the other side of the back. After sewing the dart, I'll match up the neckline to ensure that it is correct and know exactly where I'll be sewing my dart on, because the neckline is asymmetric. If I don't do that, I might need to loosen again. So that's my dart now. I've sewn it down again. So I've already chalked the line of my dart on the front piece lining. So I always do this because the neckline must match up by the time I sew my dart down. So I also notched the dart point. I just place it on fold and sew the dart down. So I'll sew my dart also on the fabric, the main fabric, alright, by 1/2 inch. I'll go 1/2 inch above the point where the slit stopped. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So placing them together and checking out that everything is fine, the darts are facing each other, and we are good to go. I come in with the bra cup. You can put a dart on your bra cup to make it more cuppy. I want to get the middle point so I can place it properly on the nipple point. When placing the bra cup, ensure the dome is facing up, like so. Bend it again, get the middle point and place it properly. Ensure that the edges, the top edge is matching up, and you go ahead and sew. Now I'm attaching the upper bodice to the down parts. When I get to the darts, I'll stop. Then try to match up the dart point on the skirt parts with the upper bodice. So place it on fold, ensure everything is straight and nice, and you sew your dart by 1/2 inch. The length of the dart for this part will be 5.5 inches. So repeat the same thing on the other side. Here's the fabric piece. I'll place the upper bodice on fold and notch the center just to get everything matched up properly. So this is another trick you can use. I'll place the skirt part on fold as well and notch the middle. So I'll be attaching the skirt part and the upper bodice together at that point. I will start from there also and sew by 1/2 inch. When I get to the dart point, I will stop. Then place the skirt part on fold, sew by 1/2 inch so the darts can match up. Make your dart length 5.5 inches or so, and you sew. When you're done, you complete the waist area. Now we'll be attaching the lining piece to the fabric. Sew the neckline by 1/2 inch. When you're done sewing, you notch. Please don't cut through. So when you're done notching, you open them flat. Take the seam allowances of the neckline towards the lining part and top stitch. This helps the lining not to come out when you are wearing the dress. Now we'll turn the hem. We'll sew the hem of the front part of the dress. It's becoming a dress now. And we'll turn it inside out. We'll repeat the same process on the neck area of the back piece. Sew by 1/2 inch, notch the neckline. Spread it open, take the seam allowances to the lining side and top stitch. Repeat the same process on the other side of the back bodice. So now we are ready to join the center back with a loose stitch, please. So our zipper allowance is 1 inch. So you sew and stop because we still need to attach the waist, the skirt part of the back. So I'm doing that for the lining, the upper part of the lining, and the skirt part of the lining for the back. So I'm sewing the darts of the lining piece, then I'll complete joining the waistline of the lining piece of the back. Okay, that's done. The dart is not matching up nicely, so it's time for us to, we've done one side of the back, now we'll turn the hem. So we have to face the hem, making sure the lining and the fabric, they are matching up, the edges are matching up, and we'll sew by 1/2 inch. So here is the back piece. We're done with this. Now continue your zipper allowance line by 1 inch. The slit is 7 inches. Then connect all the points of the zipper. Then from the waistline, come down by 9 inches. That's where the zipper for the back would stop. So you continue sewing with a loose stitch all the way to the zipper point, that's the 9 inches. Then from there you back stitch and continue with your normal stitch up to the slit point. You back stitch again, and this is the bum illusion we're trying to achieve, and here is the slit area. Next we'll attach the shoulder. So the front is laying on the back shoulder, then we'll take the lining piece of the back and cover it, then we'll sew by 1/2 inch. So we have 3 pieces here, and 1 piece of the lining is covering it. Sew by 1/2 inch, and this is the way you sew your shoulder. So the front and the back is looking seamless. Here is the sleeve. We're turning the hem of the sleeve. This is the cold shoulder sleeve. Then you turn it out, then top stitch, because we're going to be creating an elastic channel. So we're top stitching by 0.75 inches. So that part is where the elastic will pass through. We'll repeat the same process for the upper part of this sleeve. Remember, this sleeve is a cold shoulder sleeve. So we're going to face it good side on good side by 1/2 inch, turn it inside out, then top stitch the upper part of the sleeve by 0.75 inches also to create an elastic channel. So this is the elastic channel up and down. The next sleeve is the one to be attached to the armhole. So on this part of the sleeve, we'll only do this for the hem. So you face it also good side on good side, turn it to the front and top stitch the elastic casing by 0.75 inches. Here's the flounce. I folded my flounce 0.25 and 0.25 again. I would advise you just weave yours and fold it once. Okay, I'm folding the hem of the flounce, and when I'm done, I'll attach it to one side of the dress. I have excesses, so I gather along as I top stitch. Ensure that the good side of the folded hem is what is on the fabric, while the wrong side of the folded part of the flounce is on top. So that's what I'm showing you here. Ensure that the good side is what is on the fabric. So when you put it down, the good side is showing like so. Yes, the good side is showing like that. So I'll attach the other flounce on the other side of the dress. This time I'll be starting from the hem, still gathering along as I top stitch. Gathering because I have excesses on the flounce. It looks pretty that way too. So here it is. Ensure that the flounce is properly sandwiched between the front and the back piece. Now we'll be taking our measurements. The bust I'm working with is 35 inches divided by 2 would give me 17.5 inches. I would mark out what I have there, and the remaining inches I'll divide it into 2. I think I have 4 there. Divided by 2 will give me 2 on this side, and I'll place 2 on the other side as well. Then we'll proceed to the waistline. On the half length, the waist I'm working with is 30 inches divided by 2 would give me 15 inches. and I'll also mark what I have left, divide it by 2 and share it on both sides as seen. So for the hip area, I'll come down from the half length by 9 inches. The hip I'm working with is 40 divided by 2. I'll have 20 inches. So what I have left, I'll divide it into 2. Yeah, so I'll mark it on this side. On the other side again, I'll mark my 9 inches from the half length to ensure my points are correct. Then I'll mark my remaining inches there. On the hemline, I'll mark 1.5 inches. That is what we added for our seam allowance, and I'll add the 1.5 inch on the other side as well. Then I'll connect my points. You can use your free hand or you can use your ruler. On the hip area, I'll go up by 1 inch and go down by 1 inch as well, just to avoid any sharp points. Then from that part, I'll connect it down to the hem of the dress. I'll be repeating the same process on the other side, connecting my side seams. So connect with your curve, go up by 1 inch and go below by 1 inch on the hip area and connect all your points. Then connect this one down to the hem as shown. So the armhole, please weave your armhole and weave the armhole of the sleeve to be attached into that area, and weave the cold shoulder sleeve also, the armhole of the cold shoulder sleeve. So we'll proceed to join the side seams. Keep ensuring the flounce is properly tucked in and laying flat and nice to avoid any problems. So as you sew, I would advise you hold down the down part of the fabric very tightly so they all match up when you are done. When you are done with the first side, you proceed to the other side and sew down the side seam. Here it is inserted. We've inserted the flounce successfully. Now I've gone ahead to pass in my elastic on the cold shoulder sleeve up and down, and on the other sleeve that will be going into the armhole, I put a gathering stitch and I'll be pulling on the thread and gather the upper area so that it can match up with the armhole. I'll keep gathering it, and when I sew, I would ensure that they all spread out nicely. So this is the elastic. Use the round arm of the person. This is 11 inches, and I will pass it through the elastic channel with the help of my safety pin. Then I'll pass it through the channel that I created right there. Keep pushing it in and making sure it is going in smoothly. Then at that end, I'll pin it down to keep it in place. Then I'll continue passing through the elastic till I get to the other end. So you keep passing in the elastic till you get to the other end. When you are done, you can also pin that end down just to hold the elastic in place. So just pin it down. Then you take your sleeve to the sewing machine. Sew the side seam of the sleeve by 1 inch all the way from the top to the bottom by 1 inch. Then you turn it inside out and attach it to the armhole. Ensure that you bend your seam allowance like this, just to avoid any hassle around there. The side seams of the sleeve and the side seams of the dress should match up. So just put the sleeve into the armhole and match them up nicely. Ensure that the gathers are well spread and sew round like a circle. So you sew from one side seam all the way around the shoulder to the other side seam, and you are done. Here is the sleeve inserted. We'll go ahead to attach the cold shoulder sleeve. So start by sewing the side seam by 1 inch. Turn it inside out. Match up the side seam of the sleeve with the side seam of the dress. Bend your seam allowances. Pin them down in place and sew like a U. You can sew from the side seam to the top and from the side seam to the other top, and we're done inserting our sleeves. So we go ahead now to attach the zipper. Here's my zipper foot of the manual sewing machine I'll be using. I would attach the zipper foot. It's easier for me this way. Then you turn your dress inside out to help you see your zipper line properly. Then start from the bottom of the zipper. Ensure the zipper line is well centered and sew all the way to the top area. Ensure that you are sewing it properly, well centered. Then when you get to the top, you sew the other side by starting from the neckline this time. So and when you are done, we'll go ahead to attach hemming gum, iron hemming gum on the slit area. I fold mine in half, double it up so it can last longer. With the help of my iron, I press it down nicely. I'll repeat the same process on the other side, placing the hemming gum and press it down. So our dress is ready. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.